So I've had a few people ask about some of the mods I've done to the DR, and I thought I'd put together a quick walkthrough video. This is what it did look like when I first picked it up. As you can see, there's been a few changes. There is quite a bit to get through, so let's get stuck in. Starting at the front, I've got the stock 21-inch rim. It's wrapped in a Dunlop 606. It's actually the second 606 I've had on the bike. I think I'm going to try something else next time. Really curious to see what the Motors is like, as the Dunlop has got a lot of road noise. Inside I've got a ultra heavy duty Motors tube, a rim lock, and I've balanced the rim for highway stability. I do tend to find myself on some remote tracks, so having that puncture resistance is valuable. Above that is the Warp 9 fork brace with some shorter fork gators. The front fender is an Acerbis YZ250 fender. I just think it gives the bike a bit more of an aggressive front end. I've swapped out the headlight shroud for a grey one to change the colour scheme of the bike. I wasn't a big fan of the blue, to be honest. In the headlight, I've upgraded the bulb to an LED one, recommended by Skids and stuff. I've put his affiliate link in the description so you can grab one of them. It's a massive improvement. Sometimes run a 6-inch steady light bar, but I've taken it off for now as I don't really do much night riding. The indicators I've upgraded to these LED dynamic ones. These indicators really surprise me. They are dirt cheap on Amazon and they seem pretty decent. The screens for bike screens is the only one really to buy for this bike, in my opinion. I've absolutely tortured this thing and it's held up really well. Moving into the cockpit, this dash plate is from AliExpress. It allows for some 12 volt outlets and switches. I've also utilised one of the holes for a RAM ball and mount with a quad lock. I've ran a Samsung tablet in the past. The larger screen is really nice for the maps, but I find it a little bit too big. It's really awkward to get into the ignition key. I'd be really keen to try one of those Android dedicated nav units. If you've got one you can recommend, drop it in the comments. But for now, I just run an old iPhone. Barkbusters speak for themselves, really. Pretty much an essential mod for any adventure bike. The grips are Renthal pillow tops. I've always used these as I really like how they feel. On the clutch side, I've added a Warp 9 clutch lever. It just allows a bit more adjustability for position. To finish off, there's a set of bar risers holding a Pro Taper contour bar. These bars are really strong and can take a hit in the event of a spill. I'll talk about the suspension in a little bit. This is the 25 litre Acerbis tank. Living and riding in WA, fuel stops can be few and far between sometimes, so it's nice to have that range. It does shake around a little bit on the highway, but it's never been much of an issue. The fuel cap, however, is a complete pain in the arse. Sergeant seat makes the long distances a lot more bearable than the stock. I think everyone knows how bad the stock seats are on these. It's nice and wide at the back. While we're at the rear, I've got a B&B tail rack with some VSM pannier racks. These are actually some of the few parts that came with the bike. They are pretty decent and seem to bring the bags a little bit closer to the bike than traditional style racks. As I said, the same LED indicators as up front, and I've swapped out the brake and tail light to a LED globe. It's really bright actually. The rear wheel is the stock 17-inch with a Motors tractionator wrapped around it. It's also got the ultra heavy duty Motors tubes in it. The chain is a DID 525 chain. with a 14 tooth front and a 44 tooth rear. This combo will sit at 120 easy all day long on the highway and has got enough grunt low down for my style of riding. I've added these steg pegs in as they do give the legs a bit of a rest on the longer days. Onto the suspension. In the front I've added some heavier springs and oil along with the Plex gold valves set up for my weight. At the rear I've totally rebuilt the rear shock using the DFX Stage 3 valve kit. I've sprung the shock for total rider and luggage weight. It is probably a little bit oversprung if I'm riding the bike empty, but 95% of the time I'm fully loaded with camping gear, so that's kind of the way I've set it up. Now on to the main course. If you've watched the rebuild series, you'll know how much work I put into this, and if you haven't, I'll link it below. I've completely stripped down and rebuilt the engine. The cases were vapor blasted, Cerakoted. While I had it apart, I installed the Pro Cycles 790 big bore kit. This is the first time I've really rebuilt a complete engine, so to see it back in the bike and to hear it fire up was really satisfying. I've replaced the exhaust with a Screaming Demon muffler and mid-pipe. I've also spray painted the pipe with some Potbelly black high heat paint. I'll be interested to see how this actually holds up. On the gear shifter I've installed a Warp 9 gear lever, and to protect this beautiful looking engine I've got a B&B 5mm aluminium bash plate. I went with the black powder coated one to complete the look of the bike. I think the black bash plate really looks awesome, but I think it's going to cop a lot of stone chips over time, so we'll see how it holds up. The wiring is fairly stock, apart from the common clutch and side stand switch deletes, with some added wiring for the auxiliary lighting at the front. During the rebuild, the AGM battery died, so I gone ahead and replaced it with the Noco NL9 lithium battery, just for easy maintenance. Anyway, I think that's covered everything. If I've missed something, let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Everything I've done to this bike is to make it reliable and be able to take on any adventure I throw at it. If you want to hear what the 790 sounds like with the Screaming Demon exhaust, I'll put a link to that video in the description below. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, if it's not part of the script, it's part of the adventure.